Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is going to be a haul slash mini review of everything that I picked up from the Sephora VIB sale, and I wasn't originally planning on filming this video. I thought I would just leave it at my top picks for the sale, which of course already went up, and if you haven't seen that yet, I will list that below, but I thought I would throw up a poll over on my Instagram story just in case. I was like, maybe 60% of people will be interested. We're probably good. 98% of you said to please do a haul, so obviously if that many of you are interested in it, we have to do the dang haul. So we have so many items sitting in front of me right now. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There's definitely a theme to everything that I purchased. I will say I do have a couple hair items, one self-tanning item, but the majority of this haul is going to be more fresh-faced, natural-looking products that are really going to enhance the skin and not mask the skin. So we have a lot of cream blushes and bronzers, cream highlights, juicy lip products, really good stuff, so many of which I've already tried out myself. We'll swatch things that need to be swatched, we'll talk about my first impressions of things, and the couple items that I thought were actually a flop and didn't really work out. So if you are curious to see all of that, you have come to the right spot. We're gonna jump right into it. Before we do, if you are new here, my name's Abbey and I love all things beauty, so I post a lot of skincare and hair care content on my channel. Sometimes I'll do hauls like this and favorites and empties, so if you're into that kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, because both of those things really help to support me with engagement, so thank you so much for doing that. Don't forget to come follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Username is right here, and my Lightroom preset filters for editing Instagram photos, which so many of you guys are already loving, are listed in my description box below if you are interested. All right, let's jump into this haul. All right, let's start off with cream blush first, and the first item that I picked up, which is the Ilia Color Haze Multi-Use Pigment. So I originally got this just to use it as a cream blush without really realizing that you can also use it on the lips too, and it's so beautiful. The color that I picked up is called Before Today. It's just a really pretty cool toned pink, so it has a slight purple tint to it, but it's not something that looks too purpley or too bright or fuchsia or anything like that. I still think it's very subtle and wearable, but oh my goodness, so beautiful. And the formulation itself is very lightweight. I would say it kind of has a whipped moussey formulation a little bit. It's like a hybrid of that and a cream, but it's not something that feels greasy whatsoever like a lot of other cream blushes do. So looks very natural on the cheeks without looking too shiny. It feels lightweight, it doesn't feel heavy. I absolutely love this. So if you have very oily skin and you struggle to find cream products that don't make you look even oilier, then I feel like you will absolutely love this, and I love the fact that you can use it on the lips as well. Next, I picked up a Rare Beauty cream blush. So this is in the shade Grateful, and she actually has two different cream blush formulations. She has more of a matte finish and more of a dewy glowy finish. So this is the dewy finish, and this is such a gorgeous bright fiery red that has kind of an orangish undertone to it, so definitely more warm toned. Very fun and summery, but even though it looks really intense when you swatch it, it's absolutely something that you can sheer out on the cheeks to make look more natural and not so intense. It's definitely something that still has a brightness to it, but I think in a much more toned down way than when you first swatch it. So I don't own any blush shades like this. That's why I wanted to pick it up. I wanted something that would be really fun for the summer, just give that little pop of color, and this absolutely does that. This formulation is really nice too, and also is something that I would say does not make me look greasy, even though it definitely does have a little bit more of a glowy finish than that Ilia skin tint. Is that what that was called? No. Multi-use pigment. And it's also just a little bit more creamy and feels a little bit more moisturizing as well. So if you have skin that leans dry, I feel like you would definitely prefer this, or if you just want something that is a little bit glowier, then I think you're going to be in love, because it does so in a way that's not gross and shiny and just too much. Another product that I think looks very fresh on the skin. Oh, I love this. Next, I picked up the Tarte Breezy Cream Blush. So this I actually have in the shade Pink Sky, which I do not think matches the label at all, so I wanted to show you guys that really quick. This is more of a bright kind of petally pink, little hint of coral, and the actual product itself is quite a bit darker and is more of a brown-based pink. I mean, I far prefer the actual product color itself. This is way more my kind of blush shade than something like this, but in case you were hoping for this and using that to kind of guide your purchase, that's actually what the shade looks like. I think it's beautiful, very wearable, very everyday, probably the most natural looking out of all three of these, and this is definitely the creamiest and most dewy looking on the cheeks. So if you have really dry skin, you really want something that feels moisturizing and looks really radiant, this will be the one for you, but still similar to those other products, I don't think it's too greasy or shiny. I still really like the way that it feels and looks on the cheeks, but I have to be in the mood for something a little bit dewier, and it actually holds up really well. Sometimes I find that these kind of creamy blushes just fade really quickly, and this does not at all. It has great wear time. So that is the Tarte Breezy Cream Blush. I think when I purchased this, they only had 2 to 3 shades available, so hopefully they'll come out with more, because it's a really nice one. The last cream blush I picked up is the one that was a letdown for me. So this is the Ilia Multi-Use Stick, and I grabbed the shade Tenderly, hoping that it would be more of a neutral pink, but it definitely leans a lot warmer and more coral in person. If you guys can pick up on that on camera, which is pretty, it's just not my personal favorite blush tone on my own skin. Also, the amount of product that you get, like that's as high up as it goes. What? I feel like that would run out so quickly. Is that just me? For that price point, I was like, what in the world? And I also just didn't love the formulation. I was expecting it to be a little bit waxier than the others, since of course it is a balm like this, but once I tried those other cream blushes and then tried this, I was like, this is just, it's not it for me. I don't love the way that it feels, and I don't love the color payoff either. I feel like it's definitely something that you have to apply more of in order to get the level of color that you may want. So not my personal favorite. Of course, that doesn't mean it's a bad product, but this one just didn't work out for me. Now for a cream bronzer, I picked up the Fenty Matchsticks in the shade Suede, and I love this so much. Oh my goodness. So this is something that's supposed to have a matte finish, which is definitely why I was drawn to it. I have not been able to find a cream bronzer that doesn't look gross and greasy on me. And especially for bronzer, I feel like that's the one thing that I really do not want to look super shiny. I prefer that to have a more natural to matte finish. So this, oh my gosh, did not let me down. It has such a nice formulation. It's very lightweight, feels traceless on the skin. It's easy to blend in, and I think it looks beautiful. The shade actually worked out perfectly for me. Oh my gosh, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this. So another one that I would say is a must-have if you have oily skin and you've been looking for a cream bronzer. Technically, I think it's actually a contour stick, but I just use it to bronze the face, and they have a lot of other shades as well, so hopefully there will be one that works for you. The other bronzer that I picked up is something I'm honestly so sad about. I'm so upset. So this is the NARS Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream in the shade Laguna, and I knew immediately when I saw it that I wanted to try it. Looked beautiful. It has such a pretty color to it. Definitely is something that I need to be self-tanned in order to pull off, because it's pretty dark. If I was fully fair, this would not work on me. It would look very muddy. But with a self-tan, I think the color is beautiful. The formulation is definitely creamier than that Fenty Matchsticks, but it still doesn't feel greasy or too heavy. It blends so well. It almost gives kind of like a diffused, airbrushed look to the skin. But as I was applying this, I was like, do I smell something? That's how much I just don't use products with added fragrance anymore. So when I smell something when I'm applying it, I'm like, something's off. It takes me a second for it to register in my brain, but I realized I was looking at the ingredients like, oh my gosh, this does have added fragrance. I don't know how I missed that, but I was hoping it would be okay since it was on top of my foundation. We have some layers in between. It was not okay. I broke out in such a bad rash from using this, and my skin is actually still healing, and that was probably over a week and a half ago. I got all of these tiny dots all over my cheeks and just a lot of flakiness after, and just itchy skin. So this unfortunately did not work for me, caused quite a bit of irritation, but it was beautiful. So I will say that if you're not irritated by products with added fragrance, then I would definitely recommend it, because oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. But it's not something I can wear again. Okay, now let's move on to cream highlighter. So I have another Rare Beauty item. This is called the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer, and I have the shade Mesmerize. So I would definitely say this is a pinky champagne shade. It has a little bit of gold woven throughout, but this is my personal favorite kind of shade to wear in the summer months. I think it's so pretty with a little bit of sun-kissed glow, even though my sun-kissed glow is fake because I don't lay out in the sun. But I really enjoy this formulation too, because it's not too wet. There are a lot of liquid highlighters that are super wet, and they'll actually kind of break up the makeup that you have underneath them, but that doesn't happen with this at all because it's slightly drier. It doesn't feel dry, but if you know what I mean, when we think about cream highlights, there's things that are really greasy and just feel damp on the skin. That's not this at all, which makes it very easy to work with. It's very blendable, and it has such a pretty hue to the cheeks. Not too intense, not too beaming, but definitely gives you a glow. Then I picked up something from this brand that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. You guys know I will completely butcher it, so there's no point. It's spelled S-A-I-E. however you would say that. And I had never heard of this brand before. I've never tried anything from them, so I was really excited to test this out. It's called their Glowy Super Gel, and it's in the shade Star Glow. This is definitely a lighter shade than that Rare Beauty option and more of a true champagne, so it doesn't have any of that pink woven in, something that I think would work a lot better if you have very fair skin or light skin. This is definitely a wetter formulation than Rare Beauty, but it still is very lightweight, and it's not wet in a greasy or sticky way. It just kind of has, it's kind of hard to explain. It definitely has more of a jelly formulation, so I'm not surprised that they call it a super gel. That is definitely how I would describe it. And it looks very, very pretty on the cheeks, but it is something that if you rub it in too much, I feel can kind of disrupt the makeup underneath it. So just be careful with that. Make sure that you are applying it on top of creams only. Don't try to apply it on top of powder, because that will definitely mess up the powder underneath. But if you do that and you just are careful to kind of dab it lightly, I do think it looks so, so pretty, and it's nothing too intense. I actually think it's even more subtle than this option from Rare Beauty. So if you want something that's just barely there, just a kiss of glow, then this will be the one for you. Then I picked up one cream eyeshadow. I just wanted to start off with one because I feel like I have been burned by so many cream eyeshadows that I just didn't want too many if I ended up disliking them all. But this is from the brand DM, or Danessa Myricks, not sure how to pronounce that either, but this is called the Color Fix Creams Waterproof Liquid Pigment, and you can use this on the eyes, lips, or cheeks, and the shade that I have here is Gold Mine. So this, when we think about all the different kinds of golds, is definitely more of a bronzy gold, so I feel like there's white golds, yellow golds, orangey golds, and greenish kind of tone golds. This is definitely truly bronze in my opinion, and I think is so, so pretty as well, especially again with a tan, or if you had really deep skin. I feel like this would be absolutely stunning on you, but this formulation, you guys, is unbelievable. I've never tried a cream eyeshadow that has this incredible of a formula. It's something that almost kind of transforms from a cream into a powder, which honestly I feel like is best case scenario, because then it's not something that's going to crease up and just fade away within like an hour on the lids. It really holds up. It's so good. Now for lips. I picked up 4 different lip products, and I'm in love with all of these, so you've been warned. First, I've been hearing such good things about the Fenty Beauty lip gloss formulation. Hadn't tried it yet, and oh my gosh, it did not disappoint. So I picked up the Gloss Bomb in the shade Diamond Milk, which is a sheer translucent shade with little tiny micro silver glitters throughout it, so it does not look metallic or glittery on the lips. It just gives your lips a little bit of dimension, catches the light. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I love that this is sheer, because if you really, really like the shade of lipstick that you have on, then this will not alter that at all. It'll maintain that, but just give you that that you want. Then I had to pick up the Gloss Bomb Cream to try that out, since I loved the original Gloss Bomb so much. So this is in the shade Mauve Wives. The money sign. Oh, like Mob Wives, but Mauve Wives. Okay, so this is definitely a very, very light mauve. It's cool toned, has that purpley tint to it, but it's not too intensely colored. So pretty, incredible formulation as well. It just has more color and more pigment to it. So this will definitely alter the color of lipstick that you have on. If you have something that's a little bit too dark and you wanted to lighten it up, I think putting something like this on top is a perfect way to do that. And again, they feel plush on the lips. I didn't even talk about the formulation, did I? They feel plush, they feel juicy, they are non-sticky, they look beautiful. Okay, calm down. I'm honestly about to redo my lipstick. Sometimes when I'm sitting here forever and I'm just not getting out what I want to say, the lips start looking gross. I feel like I went crazy on Ilia for this haul, so this is the Ilia Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Maybe Violet, so definitely is even more violet toned than this Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss. These look almost identical. What's wrong with me? This definitely feels the most unassuming on the lips. So if you want something that gives you a little bit of a hint of color but doesn't feel like you're wearing a lip gloss, then this will be the one for you, because it feels more like a creamy lip balm than anything. It really does feel so good. And this color I think is super pretty. I'm actually wearing it now on top of another lipstick. So that is my personal favorite way to wear this product, is on top of lipstick, kind of alter the color a little if I want to, and just give my lips a little bit of juice without it looking too glossy. So really, really pretty product. My only complaint is that the doe foot is kind of scratchy. Like, it doesn't feel good to apply, Hopefully they'll change that, but it's nothing that's too uncomfortable. So this product I still would recommend despite that, because I think it feels and looks really beautiful. Then, oh my gosh, I finally did it. I finally tried the Dior lip oil. I had been hearing such good things about this. So this is called the Lip Glow Oil, and why does it have 50 different names? It says Lip Glow Oil, Color Revival, Cherry Oil. What? I don't know about any of that, but I have the shade Rosewood, so this is actually completely different than the other two. It is kind of a brown-based red, and this is so gorgeous too. Something that I feel like would look beautiful on top of a brown lipstick, or even something that's kind of terracotta, leans red a little bit to kind of mellow it out, and again, give you that glossy look. This formulation, how would I describe this? I feel like these are all starting to blend together. If I had to compare to the first two, I would say that it is slightly stickier of a formulation, but it doesn't feel sticky on the lips. It's not like you feel it on your lips, you feel like your lips are sticking together. It still feels amazing, and it looks so juicy. Oh my gosh. This is such a good one. It's definitely worth the hype in my opinion, because it just gives you such a natural, pretty flush of color in just the most magical way. Like, this is my kind of product. All right, last few products that I picked up. This one I have not tried, I apologize, so I can't speak to it yet, but I finally grabbed the Tan Luxe The Body Illuminating Self Tan Drops. I have heard such good things about these, so I really want to include them in my self tanner showdown that is almost ready. I'm nearing the end. I have been literally doing it for probably over 12 weeks at this point. So this is going to be one of the final ones that I use, or maybe I'll do a video where I compare a bunch of different self-tan drops and let you know what I think the best is. Let me know which you would prefer, or if you want it in both, keep me posted. Then two restocks for me, so items that I already have that I've talked to you guys about before that I absolutely love. The first is the Olaplex No. 3 Hair Perfector. Such a good damage repair item. My only complaint about it is how freaking tiny it is. I really wish that there was more product and that it lasted longer, but this is so good. If you want to know more about this product and the most effective ways to use it, I will list a video below where I talked to Olaplex myself, got all of that inside scoop, and let you guys know what they said. So that video is below again. The other restock that I got is the Bumble & Bumble Hairdressers Invisible Oil Heat and UV Protective Primer. I am almost out of this, so I needed it back in my life because I think this is such a good pre-styling spray. It's something that actually helps to protect from not only heat, but also UV. So if you're looking for something to protect the hair strands, if you're gonna be out in the sun a lot this summer, then this is something to look into. Really good formulation, non-sticky, detangles very well, and just makes my hair look really pretty and luscious, in my personal opinion. And the last item that I picked up is the Oribe Gold Lust Nourishing Hair Oil. So I got my hair cut a few months ago and they used this on my hair for the first time, and I immediately fell in love. I felt like my hair looked so shiny, but not in a greasy way, and just looked and felt amazing for days after, which typically happens after going to the salon. You can just like never recreate that at home, but even more so after they use this on my hair, so I knew I wanted to pick it up. And when I use this, I will just use a small amount, work it through the ponytail lengths of my hair. It adds such nice shine. It helps to detangle, keep the hair more manageable, help to tame frizz. It really works for me. So I love that this is not too oily for a hair oil. Like, it does not feel gross and oily in the hair if you don't use too much product. So I feel like a little bit goes a long way. I know it's really pricey, but this one was definitely worth the purchase for me. And that is officially it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed me walking through all of these products, letting you know my thoughts. I would love to hear in the comments below if you picked up anything from this sale that you are obsessed with. Did you pick up anything that didn't quite work out for you? Are you going to try out any of these items after watching this video? If so, I'll have everything listed in my description box below, and let me know if you're curious to see like a cream blush comparison video, knowing that I got so many and have purchased more since this haul. I would love to do something kind of like a showdown style video where I actually show them on the cheeks, do a little bit of a wear test, let you know my thoughts and how they compare. If you want to see that, let me know. I can definitely do that. I have a few different content ideas just based on the things that I purchased. So anything else you would like to see from me next, leave that in the comments below as well. Make sure if you did enjoy this video that you're not forgetting to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click on that notification bell and send my channel to a friend. All of those things, again, really help to support me, so thank you so much for doing that. Instagram and TikTok handle listed in my description box below, along with my Lightroom preset filters, and my next video will be up in a few days, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.